so much more to talk about as it pertains to this upcoming weekend. A lot more storylines. And I did want to start here, kind of an anniversary of sorts for us. This is the weekend on the calendar anyway that we followed to start this whole lap podcast. If you're a carryover from the original, like my personal YouTube channel where we were uploading these things before, and you've moved over here, absolutely appreciate it. But yeah, that's where the old episodes are. That's where season 1 exists, is on my personal channel. It's linked on the YouTube. You can find it. And this was the race that got this whole thing kind of started. Was we walked into the plan of, we're going to do this podcast. We just let's figure out what happens this weekend. And we walked in fresh off of this controversy where Lando Norris had to effectively relinquish first place to give Oscar Piastri a win. McLaren felt that it was his, it was deserved. He had done everything he needed to up to that point, but just got kind of stacked.
Wish we didn't do that at this point
in the pit order. And yeah, I wonder, you know what, I'll ask you as the Lando fan, how do you feel a year later now?
He didn't need that damn win.
Wins. He has the exact same amount of wins as Lando Norris.
Not it on merit, bro. Like, I get it. It was like, oh, Oscar Piastri's the young guy. Let's give the young guy the win. And it's kind of like, okay. And I already know it. Everybody's going to be like, Kevin, you're a Lando truther. Like, Oscar gave Lando so many wins.
He's a Lando loyalist. Lando loyalist.
Fair. That's a little harder to say. But
what, Lando loyalist?
Like a loyalist. Truthers.
Words
easier.
We work in the words business, buddy. Come on. Nonetheless,
yeah,
this win.
We talk for a living.
Win meant something.
We do it very well.
Look, this win meant a lot to Oscar at the time. At the time, we weren't exactly sure that this was going to be something that he could repeat. His first true win didn't come until Azerbaijan for a lot of people, where he defended the hell out of Charles Leclerc, staved him off for what felt like 30 laps. That was with the mini DRS back a season ago. But since then, Oscar Piastri has shored up on the qualifying. He's stacked up some wins completely on merit since then. So now I feel like he walks into this race weekend still pissed from the British Grand Prix. He's already taken care of the dirty work of getting one win in Spa. Now he's walking into the Hungary ring going, everybody says that I didn't earn this one. If that doesn't give you extra motivation, I don't know what else will. This honestly feels like it has to be a slam dunk kind of weekend for Oscar Piastri now.
I honestly would say for Piastri, even taking the media out of it, like you, Tristan, do you remember when he won? Like whenever when McLaren gave him that win, he didn't look happy about it. Like he was just kind of like, "Hey guys, I appreciate it. Like I appreciate it, but like, okay."
Everybody wants to earn their first race win.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to earn it.
And he'll be the first to tell you he didn't earn that win at all. Like Lando had to do it. Lando was pissed about it. Oscar was he was a little like tilted about it. I mean, did he win? Yes, but Oscar Piastri is not an emotional guy anyway. But we could tell that it was like he could have been without given that win. So even for Oscar Piastri's perspective, he's going to be like a little bit of an FU mentality. Like, no, I'm going to go win this race because I ain't going to have nobody hand me nothing.
Do you think this is the most emotional we might actually see Oscar, considering the circumstances?
He got pretty emotional on the team radio following the win over the weekend. I think he gets a little bit more and more emotional every time he gets a win. It's weird with Oscar, right? Because there is some wins where he's like, "Oh, the car was mega. See y'all next time."
It was a great weekend. The team did fantastic. Yeah.
And then there's some times where he's like, emotional and ecstatic about a qualifying or a race win, and he'll cuss a little bit and he'll give shouts out to the team and he'll be like, "Look, they said we couldn't do it," or we remember what they said. Like he's a very he remembers things. He keeps grudges for sure. So each race, each track holds a different kind of significance for Oscar Piastri. It could even date back before Formula One for all we know, right? Where it's like, I never did good at this track and I just freaking won. And now it's like, screw you, right? So I think for Oscar, I do think it will be an emotional race. I really do. I think it's going to be one of those things where Oscar's, he just grabbed the win. He beat the whole field by 0.6 of a second. And he's just like, hey, they didn't have to give it to me this time, did they? Like, I can guarantee you, like, something like that from Oscar would make a lot of sense.
I'm as far as anybody who could potentially pull it away from him this weekend. I mean, who could even contend to really topple him, right? It's only going to be Lando, right? The same car. I mean, I wouldn't say only, but like it feels like the favorite would be Lando, right? Same car. He's going to have the first shot at slowing down the title rival. Like, and Lando's shown that he's got the chops at least on one lap to hang with Oscar, right? I think Oscar. I said this a year ago that I think Oscar's racecraft is really good if his qualifying was there. And now his qualifying pace is, I would argue, neck and neck with Lando. And again, Lando is one of the fastest guys on this grid. I think it's got to be either Lando, although I don't know if he's going to have the chops to really go. I think Oscar, if he's going wheel to wheel with Oscar, he's like, this guy wants it this weekend. Like, he really wants it.
I would say you can throw Lando.
Or does that give you extra motivation if you're Lando, right? Where you're like, I know he wants it and I got to want it that much more. Right? Maybe that.
I mean, yeah, because if you're Lando, you can be like, look, this is still my team, right? Like, I'm still the one gunning for, like, don't pretend you're the underdog when you're literally leading the drivers, right? Like, Lando is still the underdog here. He's still fighting from behind 16 points. Mm-hmm. So there's also that angle. But I would say after Lando, it's like Max and then Charles, just because Max is so good. Even though he's driving a Tonka truck, he's so good. And Charles, the Ferrari, you don't really know what you're going to get out of it, but Charles is a damn good driver. So I would say, like, Lando and then, like, Charles and Max are, like, right there, just as far as how the field could shake out.
I think Max is always a factor. We can have this discussion every single race weekend. This dude could be driving a midfield car, for all we know, right? It might just very well be.
He could be driving a car on 3 wheels, and it'd be like, hey, he could still land on the podium.
And he could. He's been that dominant, and he's remained within this title fight kind of as the antagonist for either of these guys, right?
Right.
Showing up out of nowhere to take away a win, right? Like that sprint win in Spa. Probably weren't expecting it. Like the win in Japan, right? He just finds these paths and these ways to win. Or the win in Imola, right? Where he just snuck by, from
just another
on the grid.
Just a quick reminder. Like, hey, I know y'all two are battling 1 and 2, and y'all got the best car on the grid, but I am Max effing Verstappen. So
yeah, like Max is having a pretty strong season considering the circumstances of where the car is.
Yeah,
he's won here twice, and it's not like he isn't familiar with getting pole here either. So I think Max is still a factor. You already mentioned Charles. Charles is ridiculously talented, but the car just hasn't quite been there. The only other team to win a feature race this year has been Mercedes, and George Russell got a pole position back here in 2022. Lewis Hamilton grabbed pole here in 2023. This seems like a place that Mercedes, they have some level of success here. Lewis Hamilton is the all-time leading driver with wins here with 8. So it's not like Mercedes are walking into the Hungaroring completely out of bounds. They can tune the car. They get it just right. Maybe they're a surprise. And George has been fantastic this year. I would consider him in that ballpark of maybe we get surprised. Although, to be fair, with the way that Ferrari have been up and down on the setup window or the performance, I think Mercedes are pretty close within that respect too. But here's my question to the TLPs. Which McLaren driver hits 9 wins first? Who's going to take the top step this weekend? I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. And there's going to be a lot to talk about, I think, following this Grand Prix weekend, because we're going to have a whole summer break to analyze everything.